This is Kamera again. We're on day number 144. Nehemiah chapters 1 through 3. So we're in a whole new book. We're done with Ezra. And so far we've covered Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, 1 Chronicles, 2 Chronicles, Ezra. So we've completed 15 books. We're in the 16th book. Okay, so we're on Nehemiah. All right. Nehemiah is a cupbearer. He is one of the exiles. He is the cupbearer of King Artaxerxes. And Nehemiah had heard word back from the people who were released from captivity who had gone back to Jerusalem to build the wall. And the report that he received was that things were not good. Jerusalem is ruined. The wall is torn down. The gates are burned. And so Nehemiah he feels bad. He cries and he talks to God. He's like, Lord, you God, of all, you said that you told Moses that once we go back, we repent. You say you're going to send us back, which you've been sending the people back. And you said you hear our prayers. Please grant me favor, basically, with the king. And so time passed, maybe like a month or maybe the next season. The king looked over at Nehemiah and was like, "Are you okay? Is everything okay? Look like you're troubled." And so that's when Nehemiah tells him that he feels bad about his homeland, how it's all in ruins. And so the king was like, "Is there anything I can do to help?" So Nehemiah said, "Yes. Please allow me to go back and to assist with rebuilding my city." And so the king and his wife are like, "Oh, well, how much time do you need?" So he tells them, and then he asks for, they go ahead and decide to let him go. And so he requested that they give him letters to all the governors who towns he'll be passing through, so he'll have safe passage. He asked for letters requesting timber to help with the rebuild. And so the king granted him favor and gave him those things. He also sent him some soldiers to help with his safety. Favor, right? So, yeah, Nehemiah, he goes back, give letters. Now get this. Talk about haters, right? Sanballat and Tobiah, you'll hear of them a couple times. They don't like, they're Ammonites, officials in the Ammonites. They got the letter or whatever, but they don't like the fact that someone is coming to help the children of Israel complete that, the building of Jerusalem. And so they don't like it. They don't like it at all. And so they're like, "Are you guys trying to rebel against the king or whatnot?" And they're like, "Well, God is going to help us to succeed. He's going to be with us in this, basically. It had nothing to really do with you guys." I'm paraphrasing again. And so, yeah. So Nehemiah, later, when he arrives to Jerusalem, he decides to do his own investigation of the wall. He didn't tell anybody what he was all about. So what he did was, at nighttime, he went and he surveyed the damages, the wall. He did his own little investigation without talking to anyone. So he did it, discreetly. No one knew what he was doing. He only took like maybe a couple people, a donkey or what have you. And yeah. So later on, he did approach the officials, the leaders, the nobles, the priest, and told them, "Guys, our city is in ruins. Something needs to be done. We need to rebuild the wall. We need to rebuild the gates." And so they agreed. They agreed. And they did like the idea. And so what get me with the building of the wall is how they were building the wall. You got to read it. I mean, you would think that they get certain people to build the wall, or I'm sure they had a plan, but the way they went about it was just so unified. You just see so much togetherness. I mean, you have different people building different sections of the wall, the gates, putting up the doors, bolting everything. I mean, it's just amazing the way they're coming together. This group of people did this section. This person did this section from the beginning of his house to the end of his house. It's like they're like coming out, and just wherever they are in whatever part of the city they wanted to do, they just go and they start building. I even read one part where this man and his daughters assisted with building. This guy who deals with perfumes, he started building a section of the wall. So it's pretty interesting the way they came together with that one goal, and that is to build the wall. And it's just pretty cool the way they went about doing it. So I love the way it is now time to move forward, and how God placed the right people in the right position, with the right people, the officials, the kings. They're involved in this, and they have a heart for the people, the people who approach them. They have a heart, and they're listening to God. God is allowing their hearts to be. But then get this, guys. They're enemies as well. People who want to stop the progression. But hey, God is in it. When God is in it, there is no stopping. We just have to continue in pursuit of whatever God put on our heart to do. So there are going to be, even though it's for the Lord or whatever God put in your heart to do, there are going to be obstacles. But keep God involved in it and stay focused and continue. So yeah, everyone is good. They're happy with rebuilding the city, and that's where we are right now. So that's Nehemiah, guys. That was Nehemiah, day number 144. Nehemiah chapter 1, 2, and 3. You have a God-filled blessed day.